What's going on, y'all? Welcome to All Things QTV, where we merge barbecue, cooking, and sports all up under one umbrella. Today, we're going to talk about Brandon Jennings. Now, previously on my videos, I talked about how he really didn't have much to say. He wasn't relevant on the Gills Arena podcast. But lately, he's made himself an asset. What he's been doing, I think he's been trolling a lot with different athletes, saying he's better than them. One particular is Jeff Teague. I think he's trolled Lou Will. And so he's stirring the pot. So what they're going to do is play a one-on-one. Some of them call him out to play one-on-one against them. And he's kind of comparing his career against their career. Because he was a top 5 pick. He pretty much came straight out of high school. He didn't play his 1 year out of high school because they made that rule, but he didn't have to go to college. He came out, he was an instant point guard, instant starter. He had shoe deals. He scored like 50 points his rookie year. He had a promising career. He had a few injuries that kind of derailed his career, but early on, he was looking like that guy, like Milwaukee found their point guard for the next 12 to 15 years, and injuries kind of derailed that. But lately, he's been making himself more of an asset. Before that, he was kind of like the guy that just sat on the couch, agreed with everything, didn't have a real solid opinion about anything. But lately, he found his niche, and his niche is trolling. His niche is comparing his career against like Ty Lawson, Lou Will, Jeff Teague, a few other guys. And these are guys that's, Lou Will, 6th man of the year, had a hell of a career. Jeff Teague, I think he was a 1-time, maybe a 2-time All-Star. Hell of a career in Atlanta. Played really, really well. Ty Lawson, damn good ball player. So he's trying to say that, he'll play them. If you ask me, I think all of those guys were more, I think Brandon may have been more gifted, but they had a better career. Brandon did have injuries. I think his 2nd year, he broke his foot. He was really never right after that. But the talent was there. Absolutely, he had the talent. I think he was faster. He can shoot. But when you start talking about, you had Jeff Teague was a strong down here player, can shoot the ball, can get to the rack. You had Ty Lawson was like a little bowling ball. Fast, strong, can shoot the ball. Solid, can get in the lane and finish with either hand, can pass the ball, and then Lou Will was a straight up scorer, flat out. You put him in 6 man, he gonna light you up. No matter what team he went on, him, Jamal Crawford, it's some 6 man that was just like, him and Jamal Crawford was always in the race to see who was gonna win that 6th man of the year damn near every year. Because Lou Will was just that special coming off the bench. Like, he was better than some starters. So it's been interesting. It's been an interesting week. I'm loving it because I like the competitive challenge that they have with one another. It's nothing like malicious or nothing. They just kind of comparing their careers, but it's fun to watch. It's fun to listen to. It's fun to talk shit about. It's like the old uncles and sitting on the couch, I was better than you. In my day, I did this and I did that, and you wasn't this. And so it's pretty cool. It's no ill will towards anybody. Nobody feel disrespected or nothing. Again, when somebody start comparing their self to you, then that energy is drummed up and you start, what? Man, please. And so the responses have been pretty funny. So they're trying to get some sponsors involved where they can put together I think like a one-on-one, because they, of course, like everything nowadays, everybody monetized, which I'm not mad at. So they're gonna put some sponsors together and they're gonna get it on. They're gonna get it on. Another thing I want to talk about real quick. I told y'all I want to go watch Gills for a while. I lied. I love sports and I love to talk the sports talk, and I love the podcast. It's a pretty good podcast. This was a little disappointing in them, but Skip Bayless with his slick ass, he's trying to get in on the he understands what drives the algorithm and the numbers, so he's trying to get in on it. He called Gil out, and I think Gil is going to oblige him with the challenge of a sit down, and they're going to talk about who know basketball better than the next. And Skip's trying to build his platform, and Gil is trying to carve out more of a lane. Gil already have his lane, but he's trying to maximize every opportunity that comes his way, so he's not turning down anything. And nobody's really interested in Skip, but it's good to listen to when him and Gil go back and forth, because anybody who can sit down with Skip and check him and pretty much tell him what he don't know. I think a lot of reporters at the time think because they was in the locker room sitting there talking to a player, and the player is going to feed you what they want you to know. That doesn't make you an expert. An expert is somebody who's been in that locker room, who's ran those suicides, who's been in those two-a-day practice in spring, in camp, who's in that weight room, who's sacrificed something. Those are the only men and women who understand what it takes. So a lot of time when a Skip Bayless or Stephen A. Smith, preferably these two guys, because they got the biggest mouth in sports, get on TV, and it's kind of weird when athletes are up on a panel with them and they're discussing that particular sport, and then Stephen A. or Skip pretty much try to tell the athlete that they're not right about something. Well, you can't tell an expert they're not right about something when you've never been through that process. So I hear Stephen A. say a lot, you're wrong, and this is why. And I'm like, how you gonna tell a man who just went across the middle and caught a pass and got hit, he wrong, when you don't even know what that route is that he ran? You don't know what it's like to get hit. You don't know what it's like to dunk a ball. You don't know what it's like to have that pressure to be at the free throw line with the game on the line with 10 seconds. You don't know. So this week, the Gills Arena podcast is going to host, I think they're going to host Skip Bayless. I don't know if they're doing it on Skip or Gil. I think they're doing it on Gills. And you get a chance, go check out Brandon Jennings. He been on one this week. So that was just me chiming in, watching what's going on in the sports world, keeping an eye out on the NCAA tournament and getting prepared for the NBA playoffs. So that's another episode down. Big Don sponsored by Big Don's Collection. If you haven't, go to our website, cop some products. If you like what I'm talking about, jump in the comments. If you don't, jump in the comments and tell me why you don't. Either way, holla at your boy. Peace.